What's going on, everybody? This is the Project FITFO podcast. Yes, my voice is still gone, and that's okay. We're still going to figure it the F out and make this thing happen. So I've got a great guest here. I met this gentleman as a VIP Access Pass member of my facility, self-made training facility, Dallas, and he came in just awesome person. But then I also got to tap into what you actually do for a living, which was really cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Fabrice is here.
What up? What up? What up?
Thank
What up?
you. Thank you.
What up?
Yes, this man is, he literally impressed me from day one. And then I even had him teach at one of my business mentorship classes on what he actually does for a living, and he blew me away. So I knew I'd had to get you on the podcast because your story was definitely something that was intriguing.
Nah, thank you. Let me tell you something. That little interview you had me do,
Yeah.
probably one of the top biggest things that happened in my life. My life right now in Dallas has skyrocketed from that event. So I thank you.
My man.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you being here.
Appreciate it.
So first, we're going to start off with, any gems you may have. Please let the audience know. Look at the camera. Let the audience know. But I want you to tell everybody your full name, how old you are, and where you're from.
Absolutely. Okay, so my name's Fabrice Fouonji. Je m'appelle Fabrice Fouonji. It's French. I'm from Douala, Cameroon, born and raised, Central Africa. Dude, this is crazy. I love figure it the fuck out. My entire life has been figure it the fuck out.
Absolutely.
So like literally the way I grew up, my dad was stubborn. He's a hard ass. Like my dad's really like, okay, go study, go at it, get hard. When I came to the States from let's say 2012 to about 2016, I came in 09. My dad would always tell me every day, like, go be the best. So like I'm like, Dad, I don't know what that means.
How old were you at this time?
2012, I was 11.
Okay.
11. So that's also when I started high school. I was 11. But I'm gonna take it back actually. So I was born in 99. I was born in Douala, Cameroon. That's the like literal capital. And then I came to the States in 09. I was in Houston, and then I went to Longview, Texas, and then I went to Midland, Texas. Okay, so that's where I came from. That's kind of how I grew up. It was cool because I grew up around all kinds of people. So obviously my African friends, those are my bros, like those who I grew up with. And then I go to like Longview, and then my first friend was like an Indian guy. And then I was also like, I had some hood friends. And then I come to Midland, and it's a complete opposite, some country friends. So like I'm learning about all the different cultures. I still had an accent back then. Like I would talk like this all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like all the time.
Yeah.
But I actually ended up growing out of that. So, but a lot of my growth started from just like figuring things out and all. That's why I'm glad you had me on here because this is dope. And I love seeing the content online too. So I know y'all about to blow this up. So I'm excited. I'm excited to be up here. But long story short, I don't even have any. I mean, I've been giving out so many gems. I'm trying to think of one that I haven't given out yet. I mean, probably the most basic of one, but the most important one, like your body is your temple. Please invest in it. Like I beg people to invest in it because that's the only thing that you'll have that'll go far. My brother is a D1 athlete. I'm praying to God he makes it to the NFL next year. He's going to Vanderbilt in SEC, so that's going to be cool.
Very good. We're all praying.
You know what I'm saying? Thank you. And then my sister is a D1 volleyball player over at UNT, so she's balling out right now. So I didn't play sports. It's my biggest regret in life because my high school didn't have any sports. I went dual credit. I graduated high school at 16. I got my high school diploma and my associate's degree at the same time. And then I went straight to Texas Tech. Mind you, everyone's 18. So I'm still making like your mom jokes. Everyone's like elevated from that, so it was crazy. And then I get to Tech, and like Tech is a whole different beast, right? But also my parents were strict. So this is where my life really started. I just had to figure it out. I'm from Africa. I'm a well-protected child. I had 2 good parents. I'm in college. I'm 16. Everyone's 18, 19. I don't know what to do. I just got released from the shackles of my parents in college. I'm partying. That's how it goes. You go out every weekend, you're partying. I had my boys who were in Midland, came to Lubbock, and it was going crazy. Then I ended up, 3 years later, I was doing mechanical engineering. I was like, you know what, bro? I'm doing mechanical engineering. I'm done with it. I'm going to do something else. I hated the 9 to 5, whatever. I switched over to economics. This now gave me the freedom to start some things. So I called my dad. I was like, Dad, I want to start a clothing brand. That's what I want to do. Fabrice Couture, you know what I'm saying? Bougie, African clothing, import it, sell it. I said, Dad, I need this, and this. He was like, son, you cannot do that. I was like, okay, Dad, whatever. But he did give me the camera for it.
Yeah.
Last year in college, I take the camera back and I start filming. I'm shooting like friends. My first shoot was actually with my boy Alfredo Hernandez. He taught me how to use a camera. 2 weeks in, I'm over here shooting by myself already. So once I learned that, every day I'm filming myself for my Instagram profile, and it gets better and better and better. I did that for 3 months. 3 months in, everyone's like, okay, this guy's a pro photo. I'm like, all right, cool. I didn't know. I'm trying to see, get approval for everything. So that's how it kind of came about. Then, once people started seeing my stuff, one person hit me up. I graduate, no jobs want me. This is peak COVID. Everyone stay at home. No one's hiring, whatever. Yeah. I now have this portfolio work and nothing. No economist job want me, nothing.
So let's hold off on that because we don't want to give all the juice at the beginning because I see you're super excited, which I love. He's like, I'm gonna tell the whole story right now. We'll be 10 minutes into this podcast and then it'll be all done.
For sure.
So let's go back because I don't want to skip over anything.
Cool.
Let's go back to your family dynamic. Mm-hmm. So your parents.
Yeah.
Tell a little bit of a story about them.
For sure. So my dad, I feel, is the greatest human to ever walk this planet of Earth. So my dad was one of 7, okay? He was the worst of 7, most stubborn of 7, the most destructive, bad kid-like syndrome. Fast forward now, he's the most successful, right? The trait that he had was stubborn. You couldn't tell him anything. He always had to go do it by himself. I'm his direct in line in that regards, right? You know what I'm saying? And so that's how my dad is. My mom, he worked for Schlumberger most of his life, so traveling to Angola, Portugal, and stuff like that. But he was definitely like strict on rules. I'm fortunate. I come from a family of good morals and principles. My mom was same thing, hard head, strict, but she's loving, caring, nurturing. She comes from a family of caring, like they're all like that. But she was a counselor, and that kind of incensed like the strictness in the family too. So. But they all took care of us and make sure,
You had a lot of structure growing up.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of discipline growing up. And that's pretty much what has attested to your success.
Oh, yeah. I mean, dude, like whenever in Africa, the rules are simple and it happens in most households. You wake up at like 7 or 8, 6, 7 or 8. And then by noon, you should have dishes done, the floor clean, everything clean. And by then, you got to study. You don't get to go outside or have fun until about 1. So, like, everybody, if you didn't do all that, by 12, you ain't doing nothing after that because you don't deserve it. So
it's funny. I hosted a business mentorship class today.
Yeah.
And that was a topic of discussion. We were discussing how important it is to make your bed in the morning. Man. But see, some people don't believe in that. And we might as well bring it up now. Mm-hmm. Because we can see how you feel about this and what your opinion is. Because I take people's opinion. What works for you works for you. But what I had stated is when, you leave your house, do you have dishes in the sink? If you leave your house, is your trash overflowing?
Yeah.
When you leave the house, is your bed not made? Now, I used those 3 examples, and it got a different reaction from everybody. Some people are like, I don't really care about my bed, but man, I can't let that trash be overflowed. Oh, yeah. I have to take it out, right? And how it relates to business and whatever you're doing is that those are your first major accomplishments of the day. So how do you feel about that? And how does this equate to, your business acumen? That's
a great point. That's a really good point. Yeah. All right. My sink is always clean. My bed is never done unless I take the time to. And my trash is never overflow. I can't allow. That's a big one. I get that person. But the last thing and the one that revolves around me the most is my house before I leave it has to be clean, no matter what. Everything outside of my bedroom has to be clean. Like right now I'm in a 2x2, like it's cool, but everything outside my bedroom is like spotless. Even my bedroom right now is pretty spotless, which is rare. So I'll take that. But it applies in business the same way because you cannot function if nothing's in structure and organized. And that's,
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? Like the first task of your day has to come from, the first action of your day has to come from a space where you can actually do the action. So that's how I operate too. I actually found a new system. This is funny. A new system of keeping my dishes clean. So I grab a plate, I use it, and then I wash it down, and then I put it in the dishwasher. Once it piles up enough, I start the machine, and then the next time I need to grab a plate, that machine has to be empty. So I can't eat without cleaning the machine. And now the sink's always clean. That's simple.
And that's a good system.
It's straightforward.
It's structure.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think with business, you have to be very structured because your accounting, your marketing, which we're going to talk about here in a second.
Yeah.
All the different aspects that go into your business needs to be structured as well, or else it's going to be chaos. Mm-hmm. So you got great values from your parents. shout out to your parents, by
Shout
the
out
way,
to them.
because there needs to be more parents out there instilling what you have just described.
Yeah.
That's the way I am with my kids. I taught them all those, those important values that will eventually transcend into you as an adult. So you go through high school. Now, I want to, again, go back. Did you face any challenges from being from Africa and then coming to the States that was somewhat of a challenge for you, a setback?
Absolutely. I would say pretty much everything was a challenge for me, right? I was fortunate because when I grew up, the language barrier wasn't. I grew up like learning English and French simultaneously. So when I came to the States, the first challenge was learning the slang. My first slang I learned was my bad. My bad was like a common slang in the U.S.
Okay.
But after that, it literally became cultural, like assimilation. So learning what is accepted, what isn't, what's normal. In Africa, when you greet people, it's a dap and a hug. Here, it's like just a fist bump or a handshake. That's it. You know what I'm saying? It's more personal. But then after that, now it becomes like values as well. Again, so me, I'm more strict. People here are more lenient, have the freedom to do more things, say more things, and have a disposition on certain topics. We didn't really do that. We didn't even care. You know, it turns out Americans typically have more freedom to say things because they have the luxury to not worry about where the next meal's coming from. You know, when you don't have to worry about that, you can worry about other things that don't pertain to you. In Africa, not so much. You got to worry about what's happening in your life. And so, yeah. But the second challenge for me really was just figuring out, like, who I was here. You know what I'm saying? Because everyone was so different, especially because I was in Houston when I came in. Like, it was different cultures, but I was always by myself. I was always solo. But I also learned a lot just being around different environments. My first friend was Indian. His name was Yassine Nazarali. I hate him. He ditched me out. He thought I was a weirdo, which rightfully so I was at the time. But I had to learn the culture and all that kind of stuff out here too. So
yeah. So did you find that like people of your own demographic, African American, blacks, did they accept you, or was there somewhat of a kind of like, oh wait, you ain't from here, like, oh, get away?
Immediate push. One thing you learn about African Americans and blacks in general is that Africans don't really affiliate themselves with African Americans. You know, some people do, some don't. But generally speaking, like there was a pushback for me. Like, okay, he's weird, man. I used to rock FUBUs. Like, I'm not rocking the Air Forces or the Dunks, FUBUs. So like there was always that little kickback and trying to figure out who I was as a personnel. So.
And that's important to understand because and the reason why we talk about this, again, it's figuring that out. You literally was there from another country, and, you go places. So like for me, for instance, to relate to you, I moved from New York City to Mesa, Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Mesa, Arizona, or even Arizona in general, is predominantly Mexican.
Which part of New York?
I was in the Bronx.
Oh, crazy.
Right? So I'm Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
So going to Arizona, I went straight to the Hispanics. Like, well, that's who I'm supposed to relate to. And I got pushed away. Like, whoa, you ain't Spanish, you're black.
Right. We don't count that over here.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, I'm Puerto Rican. I'm not black. No, you black. Right?
Wow.
So my friends are majority black, because that's who I connected with.
Yeah.
So, figuring it out on your end in Houston, now you are not only is that happening with cultural?
Oh, yeah.
But then you're also very highly intelligent. So now you find yourself excelling and exceeding faster than the average.
Right.
How did you get past that?
So the truth of the matter is, unfortunately in America, the higher you go up in social class, in intelligence, the less people of color there are. So what happened pretty quickly was I started having more, I guess, white friends, and I got affiliated with them more, which was fine by me. Like, our purpose as humans is to feel belonged. So as long as I felt that, I was good to a point. But I realized I don't want to lose my culture and my roots, And so that's what happened to me in that regards. But I also had to learn how to apply to the other cultures. One thing I'm big on is my roots and my culture. So like if I have my black friends and stuff like that, I would definitely correlate it with them too, or try to understand like how to hang out, what the topic was, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I was also big on R&B and hip hop, Our foes, that's what we listen to all the time.
Yeah,
so.
Music always connects.
Always connects. So
absolutely.
That's kind of what I got a culture too by that. But yeah, I never had to figure it out.
So now you get through, high school at a younger age, you graduate at a younger age, you end up going to college. Now you're starting to party a lot.
Yeah.
Because you're fitting in.
Yeah.
So
which was crazy, by the way.
Go ahead.
Man, like, so both my entering my high school, entering, see my accent's coming out, and
That's
entering
all good.
uh, junior high, high school, and college, I'm like 2 years younger than everybody. To me, like, I got used to it by college, but still, like, everyone's like at a different maturity level. So it forced me to grow up quite a bit. Like high school, where you're supposed to be 14, I was 12, right? So now being in college, I'm having to figure out, okay, how am I gonna fit in when I'm already younger? You know, so I'm having to mature and act a different way, and I kind of picked it up naturally until I got to my third year in engineering. Once I left that, I was more in economics, which is more like the general mass degree. More common people are in it. You know, not everyone's an engineer. My last year of college was probably my easiest time. School to me has always come easy. I don't know if people know this, but African school is actually very, very stressful. American school is piss easy.
Yeah,
It's
call it what it is.
stupid easy. It's actually sad. Bro, like, it made me lazy. It made me lazy for a couple
because
years.
you weren't being challenged.
I wasn't at all. American school is easy. To Kill a Mockingbird, what a joke. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. What a lame book, man. I want to read Shakespearean culture and novel, man. Like stuff like that. But you know, that's just how I felt about it coming here. But now that I got to college is where things get real. You got to actually study and read the books. And so I was still challenged in that, but I ended up going to economics. And once I graduated, I was like, okay, cool. I'm that dude, bro. And I got a minor in math and engineering as well. And like I was just stacking up stuff, but no jobs wanted me.
Because of your age?
Kind of. I couldn't tell you. I had a good resume, good what's it called, a cover letter, good letter of recommendation as well. But no jobs wanted me. I would say maybe when I graduated, I was 21. I'm not sure what the national age for college graduate is, but it probably still is pretty young, around there. And yeah, so here's how my life changed. That last year of college where I shot quite a bit of content and stuff, at this point, I was shooting myself a lot. I was shooting my friends when they graduated. And then most importantly, rappers. So I got in contact with a friend who said, hey, I can't make this gig. I want you to come film it because I've seen your work. I get to this gig, and it's a DJ. His name is Leon. Shout out. I'm pretty sure it's Leon. DJ Lifestyle. He says, yo, I want you to film this. This is a college frat party. They're going to be dope. I want you to film me and kind of make sure we show the liveness. I'm like, all right, cool. I've been good at this. I've been vlogging for quite a bit. I'm going to go film it. I get there. I film. I think I made exactly $200 at the time. I'm like, hell yeah, 200 bands. I'm going crazy. Like, this is going to be good money. Then I go back and film it, and I deliver it in about 3-4 days. I'm like, here you go. He goes, nah, bro, I got the next event. Come shoot that one too. That video gets posted. It goes crazy. The next event was another one from that same party. Did the same thing. He loved it. Went crazy. Then that frat party's like, nah, forget that DJ. We want you to come film this event. This event, Young Bands was there. He's like, at the time, he was young, up and coming. I'm like, all right, cool, I'll come film this guy. I get backstage passes. I'm filming him, chilling, whatever. Deliver that to him. His team didn't get back to me, but the frat loved it. Next event, Key Glock was there. I'm like, oh, this is Key Glock. I'm about to go crazy. Delivered it to him. Same thing his team did. I mean, those are big guys. But the frat loved it. And then my last event was like a hype between DJ Esco, Block Boy, some guy from like the Netherlands, and it was a cool event, and I delivered that one. That was cool. So like I had the portfolio already, but I got one phone call from my friend who's my mentor. He's 6 days older than me, Alec Amwina. At the age of 18, he was the #1 realtor in the state of Texas.
Wow.
I didn't know that. We went to high school together. I had no idea. I swore he dropped off. I think he did. Dropped out of high school. He goes, yeah, Fab, listen, who takes your pictures? I'm like, bro, I take my pictures, dog. What you need? He's like, yeah, come to this event in Midland. Move back since you move back anyway. I want you to come take care of my content. I'm like, all right, cool. It was at this like coffee spot. Cool, chill. I did the pictures. I posted it. He's like, yeah, tomorrow, come film this house. All right, cool. Don't worry, don't even pay me. I got it. Film it.
Now stop. You said don't even pay me.
Yeah.
How important is that?
Bruh. Oh, my God. You met Michael Burrows.
I did.
Shout out to man with his late night text, bro. I wore it at the club the other night.
Matter of fact, I introduced you.
Yeah, he introduced me, which was crazy, man. Listen, that changed my life. You have no idea. We'll get into it in a bit. But What was that? I already forgot.
We're talking.
I'm too
We're talking
excited.
about giving free,
Yeah.
something free, where you told
Mm-hmm.
that individual, your mentor,
Right.
you said, "Don't even worry about it. I'll do it for
I'll
free."
do it for free. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it. Same thing with Michael Bro. I did his headshots for free. Those are coming out soon. But I truly think the biggest value you can do is give out a sample or half your work for free the first time until you build out portfolio. There's three things it does. The first one and most important one is build out portfolio. The second one is showcase your potential to the surrounding areas of that work you're doing.
Yeah.
And then the third one, I mean, you're literally just practicing at all times, right? Trying to get better at all times. So what happened is once I did that work for him for free, he posted that video. The entire city of Midland and Odessa, where I resided at the time, was like, okay, this is new. I need it. And one video turned into 4, which turned into 16, and so on and so forth. So in the span of like 6 months, I blew up in that city. It was fast. My work spoke for itself, which I'm very grateful for because I practiced. I was practicing that 1 year, my last year in college. And so once it blew up, I mean, I pretty much took over there. So my very first year, I'm 24 now. So this was 3 years ago, so 21. I was 21. I was racking in bread, bro. I remember I made my first check. I think my first check in the business was like $21.50. Bro, I was snapping all my boys. I was like, yeah, y'all need to quit y'all jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all need to start doing that stuff. And like, I made that back to back to back, and it started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And so, genuinely speaking, like, I truly think the value of doing stuff for free is that important. It just is that important. As a matter of fact, that DJ Esco party, Block Boy, I did that for free as well. And I could use that to leverage
And
nowadays.
it literally has built your portportfolio to where you're at today. Now,
It's
I mean,
built
it spoke of your, and then each person afterwards was looking at this portfolio, and they were eager to work with you.
Eager. It
Makes
built
sense.
it. I said 3 things. It's actually 4. You can then leverage that portfolio to whoever. So like now I have pictures of so many different clients, whether it's rappers, artists, all the way out to rocks. I shoot rocks sometimes. I think I told you about this. Yeah, like I have a client who sells rocks, and I went and I looked at the camera, took a picture of rocks. I also have like models. I also have grab pics. Like I have it all. I can leverage that and automatically, let's say somebody charges $250, I can either double that or add 100. You know what I'm saying? You can leverage that to your benefit in terms of that
Makes
too.
sense.
So
Makes sense. So you got now you're filming rappers. Now you got into the real estate game. Let's talk about that, because that's a whole nother arena for a media person, whether videography, photography, or any kind of marketing in general as well.
Absolutely.
What did you learn, and tell me some of your accomplishments in that arena?
Absolutely. So my biggest accomplishment out of working, like filming media for real estate, is actually working in it. I ended up flipping a house as an ultimatum, which was cool. And the house sold in like 2 days, which was crazy. But the thing most anybody, marketers or anybody, let's say you're a boutique, let's say you are, I don't know, name a field, engineer, whatever. The second you step into trying to market, you now involve a lot of individual required skills. This is something marketers don't talk about. The second you want to market, you now have to become a good storyteller. You now have to become a good personality. You have to have a lot of character within yourself, because now people are seeing your stuff. For people to like you, they have to like you for who you are. So if you don't have any of those attributes, sorry, I'm not going to like you. You know what I'm saying? And so that's a lot of things that happen. But in terms of real estate, it's a big field, because what happens is everyone is interacting and networking. So that's the biggest one I think I learned from there is networking. And then on top of that, trying to showcase quality in real estate is super important. So if there's anybody out there who's trying to, as a marketer, trying to get into the real estate world, it comes out to quality, really. And then once you have that consistent, it comes down to quality. How much quality can you output over time? I was reading the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Great book.
Great book. Your PPC, your production, your product production capability. That is very, very important. So yeah, real estate's a big one. For sure.
So now you got done with the real estate game.
Mm-hmm.
You're sharpening your skills.
Oh, yeah.
And you say, what's the next step? Now, this is how I know a little about your story, because you told me. So that next step, you were like, I can do something bigger.
Absolutely.
So what did you do?
Absolutely. So I left real estate. I started marketing for OFO companies. Okay. OFO companies is easy job because you just built them.
Now, what is that? So the audience can know.
So OFO companies is basically a company who either does fracking or, drilling and stuff like that. So as a marketer, you can come in and say, hey, I can build you a new website because you already have sales. And most of them don't have a good website at all. You already have sales, you have reputation, and you have the numbers to back it up. So I would display that beautifully. I'll take a few pictures of your work, and then boom, here you go. If you want me to run an ad, sure, why not? I can do a video for you. I'll give you all an example how much you can charge, because a lot of people don't know like how to charge and stuff, so I'll help out for those of you.
Please do.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, because I figured it the fuck out, so you don't have to.
And that's what the show is all about.
That's what the show's about.
Go ahead.
So my biggest client was Stingray, Oilfield Services. Shout out to them, they're my good people. So I laid it out like this. I did 2 photo sessions. I did a video commercial, about 1 minute long. I did a full website build, 15 pages deep. And then I did graphic illustrations for their social media, whether they want to run an ad or something of the sort. Put that all in a proposal. My proposal is 10 pages long. And then I charged them exactly $13,000. The day I brought it, it was a very great day. It was a very upsetting day too. It was bittersweet. I pull out the proposal. I'm like, this is how much it'll cost. I'm twitching. I'm like hot. He looks at me. He goes, that's it? I'm like.
And then your heart dropped.
I should have put 15. I should have put 15. I should have. Damn.
Now, I'm going to look at the camera. How many of you out there have felt that same thing when it comes to your pricing? The pricing that you put out there. And it's so important to hear this because, I'm a Hormozy fan. So, making offers that people feel stupid saying no.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people hold themselves back when it comes to price points. And so and you're just speaking on it right now.
That's literally what it came down to.
So you went ahead, you gave them proposal.
Man.
You put it $13K across the board. They said they would have paid you $15K, but it is what it is.
Bro, he paid me before I walked out the door. Up front, the full price.
Come on, man.
Bro, I was like, yeah, this is my field. I was not going nowhere, bro.
So now you built, basically a marketing agency.
Full on. I have a team of 4 now, and I have a social media strategist. I have a website builder, and then I have a graphics designer. And what that website for me did is I leveraged that to get other oilfield companies. So that led me, this was all in the past 6 months. No, 10, because it's now April, which is crazy. So that led me to where I am now, moving to Dallas. Mind you, I moved to Dallas on a whim. I had no reason.
Yeah, tell us about that. What made you move from where you were at? You had a good following, obviously. You had a good footprint because you were doing the real estate game.
Yeah.
You decided to move now. For the audience, because they don't know, how far is where you were at to where you're at now?
Perfect. So I'm in Dallas, Texas. Midland, Texas is 5 hours west of Dallas. But I have quite the footprint in Dallas. So I actually ended up doing a lot of things over there in Midland. So I did real estate. I did graduation pictures. I was doing quinceañeras. I was doing, marketing with like big companies. Like I was shooting all my friends. Like in the game, I was pretty much well known as that photographer over there, which was amazing. And then I was even known as a better videographer over there, which was nice. Now, using all of that, I was now able to say, okay, I need to leave. Because my mentor, Alec, taught me this. He was like, listen, a shark cannot always live in a fishbowl his whole life. He has to outgrow it. Because what happens if the shark grows in that fishbowl forever, he will start thinking he's a fish. Does that make sense? Yeah, absolutely.
Hold that.
I'm just saying.
Say it one more time and tell it to the camera because that's a gem.
That's a big gem.
Get it to him.
Listen, a shark cannot live in a fishbowl his whole life because if he does, he will start thinking he's a fish. He said, would you rather have a Neiman Marcus storefront or a Versace storefront in little old Midland, Texas or in Dallas, Texas? I said, listen, Fabrice Visuals sounds a lot cooler at the top of a building in Dallas, Texas on the highway. I said, yeah, I need to go. So I ended up cutting my guts down, and I said, yeah, I'm going to go to Dallas. That's what it was. And I came here, and in 3 days of moving, bro, when I came and met you, I had not even unpacked yet.
Really?
Yeah.
So when I met you, you just got here?
Yeah, bro, it was 3 days in. My priority was to sign up for a gym.
Wow.
Priorities. That's all I wanted to do was get right. And so once I signed up that day, I came and worked out the next day.
Now, how did you find us?
Bro, I live walking distance of the gym.
Okay.
The whole reason I moved actually to that where I live now is because the gym was right there. So when I called you, I believe it was 2 weeks before deciding on the place. That's why I decided that. You said, yeah.
Shout out to Self-Made Training Facility
You know
in
what I'm
Dallas.
saying?
The best gym in the,
best
DFW.
gym, bro. The best gym. Let me tell
That's
you
what I'm
something.
talking about.
All the guys up there are monsters, man. All your trainers are monsters.
Hey, there you go. Give him that applause. Yeah.
You guys are the damn.
Man, that's my family over there, man.
yeah.
Shout out Self-Made Family. So now you're here.
Mm-hmm.
You're ready to rock and roll.
Man.
You got moved into a new apartment.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a new city, even though you've done work here before. You got a great gym. And now you're going to the next step. So what'd you do?
So my next step now is kind of networking with people who are, you know, in the field of becoming their own, I don't know, freaking monsters. Like, you're a great example. You'd be actually an ideal client, description-wise. So, like, you're trying to build you as a personnel. So, in my past, I actually have a bunch of people, Daniel Montoya, Muhammad Asad. I mean, I have a bunch of people who I built their brand by themselves, right? Just individuals. So, same thing here, except on a bigger scale. I wanted to go corporate with everything, franchise for Fabrice Visuals, but I think I'd much rather just enjoy being a private marketing company for the people I love to work with, because it's a connection.
Yeah.
I'd rather work with people I enjoy working with than, you know, random people like in corporate. Of course, there has to be a financial point to where I can sustain living, right? Because once you move to Dallas, I mean, everything goes up, price of living, costs, et cetera. So, but yeah, that's how I put it together. But my main goal now is to scale the business even 10x. So my first year, this is back in 2021 to 2022, my first year, I can tell you exactly how much I made. When I found out exactly how much I made, my tax lady said, okay, you made near 6 figures. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I made over, but what do you mean? She said, no, you made exactly, I think it was like 92 something. I looked at my bank account. I said, man, where did I make that? I don't see none of that. I have no idea where that's at. I was like, damn. So I made all that and I kept nothing? Okay, let's try again next year. Last year, I don't know what I made. It's tax season. I'm about to find out very soon. But I'm pretty sure I blew that out the water. And then this year, I started off pretty well as well. Like, this year, I got halfway through what I got last year, or my first year. So
what did you use your money on? Did you use it on investing, or did you blow it on?
This is where you got to figure the fuck out.
Yeah.
And my first year, I did it. Everything went into some asset. So my car, but most of it went to my business. Majority actually went to my business. So new cameras, new speakers, new lights, new everything.
Yep.
And that's one thing too. You got to invest in like your assets. Again, your body is one of those. So I invested in myself as well. So I was eating better. I was getting better. Because back then, my first year, I was very unhealthy. It was wake up, 4 a.m., go gym, like don't even eat, go to work, and then I'd come home at like 7 p.m., eat one huge meal, and try to work from 7 p.m. to like 1 a.m. and then start over, wake up 4:30. It was a really bad habit because what happened was 5 months straight of doing that, I ruptured my patellar tendon and completely let go. So I spent 1 month where I was out. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably why I didn't see most of that money, because it went all into recovery, surgery.
Yeah.
And so that's what happened in there. So I learned how to take care of my body better because of that. It's probably one of the best things that happened to me. Because if not, I'd be a madman with no health. You know.
And a lot of times people, they'll lose sight. So it amazes me. 24 years old.
Yeah.
Hey, I still can't believe it.
Hey.
I think you're lying to me. You got Benjamin Button disease.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
But it's hilarious to me because, well, I respect it. The reason being is because it's hilarious to me that, what the hell was I doing at 24?
What were you doing at 24?
Oh, bro, you don't even know. Most people out there who know me know what I was doing at 24, and they're like, we don't want to talk about that in the podcast. Because I didn't have a mindset of, you know, what you're doing, you know, or even what my media guy, Tony, here is doing. You know, it's like I didn't have that mindset.
Right.
Drinking, you know, partying, you know, spending money on stupid stuff.
Right. No balance.
Nothing. You know, and I just didn't think about it. So to hear this, I have the utmost respect for you.
Thank you.
And I'm admirable, by the way. I'm admired you. I'm admiring you and your work ethic. And I think that a lot of young people need to hear this, because there's a lot of young people out there I got all kids in their 20s. So all my kids, they're rocking and rolling. They're doing different things.
Pause.
Go ahead.
I was talking to a friend about you today, and
Okay.
she was asking me how old I was. I was like, listen, I think you said 40 something, right?
No,
Correct.
45, yeah.
Which is beautiful.
Yeah.
I showed her a picture of you. She was like, he looks younger than that. I said, black don't crack. Black don't crack. I'm like, bro, you look good.
And Puerto Rican is even worse, man.
Bruh.
It's that freaking cocoa butter.
I don't know what you do, but you're tell him.
That cocoa butter for real.
Bruh, your skin is smooth, man.
Oh, man.
God,
I appreciate you, man.
Of course.
I hope it stays that way. Because it might be like one of those days where it's just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's just, I dread that day.
Yeah.
But let's go back to you now are here in Dallas. You're building your stuff. You got your business. You got team.
I do.
You got a great team. Now you networked. You gave your first class. Talk about, so to tell the audience, to give them a little bit of a brief, I'll let them know.
For sure.
I asked you to come speak at my business mentorship class.
Right.
Every Tuesday at Self-Made Training Facility Dallas in the Manifest Fitness Institute classroom. We teach business, all things of business. But I like to occasionally bring people like yourself in. You had an opportunity to speak. Tell me about that experience.
So that experience was crazy, which, it's, if anyone has the opportunity to go to his mastermind, I gladly encourage y'all to, because it's actually a great experience. I'm not going to lie to you. Just the people, the culture, and the connection. I see why you built what you built with your gym, because I see how you interact. But with your trainers. But the experience there was amazing because, one, this is I remember the next week is when I spoke, I think. Or was it like a couple days after? I don't remember. But it was cool because I saw how knit you guys were. But it was also a great experience because I don't speak often. And when I do, I have to find a way to relay a message, a point to where at least somebody with an impact. That's why the first thing I said when I came out the gate was that gym, which was, don't sell your service, sell that how it makes people feel. That's my biggest one that I advocate for all the time. And then after that, it was helping whoever. There was a lady at the front who had her own business, which was a very unique one, and trying to help her out in that regards too. But it was a great experience. I'm very grateful for it, so I appreciate you for that. And I hope that some people over there kind of got an impact from that. I met Trevor, who's a good guy too. I love Trevor. I need to connect with him a lot more. And so just meeting people and connecting with people was great.
Yeah, absolutely. It was, and you did a phenomenal job. And I know a lot of people were impressed by, what you brought across. Yeah. But then I also introduced you to good old Mr. Michael Burrows. Mr. Burrows he's a connector. He's a super connector. He is a phenomenal individual who I got the pleasure of meeting a while back at the Tower Club here in Dallas. Yep. And we built a friendship and a partnership. And, so I introduced you to him. What came about with that?
You have no idea. Okay, so thanks to you, I met Mr. Burrows. And mind you, it wasn't supposed to happen. So I wanted to sit on the table in front of him. But my body was like, your legs aren't going to fit there. So I sat where he was at so I could have more leg space. He goes, brother, was that you speaking? What mic is that you got on? I had the microphone on trying to record my YouTube video as well. I was marketing myself, which I recommend too. And I was talking to him, I was explaining. He's like, hey, I sell pocket squares and fragrances. I'm like, let me smell that. I did. It was fire.
Yeah.
So now he tells me, I want you to come. I want to have a meeting with you at the Constellation Club, which I had no idea about, but it's one of the best views in the city. I'm like, wow, okay. So we go there. I sit with him, and we spoke for 5 hours straight. It was nuts. Like, I canceled everything for a bunch of hours just to speak to him. He said, I operate out of the Tower Club, which is in downtown. I want you to come meet me there next week. Again, I showed up. Most people are afraid to show. I showed up. I showed up ready. I had my iPad. I even had a proposal for whatever he need. I didn't know what he needed. The great part about him is you could talk to him forever and still not know what he does.
Yeah.
I have no idea what he does, which is nuts. So shout out to him.
Shout out to Mr. Burrows, my man.
No idea. And so he takes me to the Tower Club, which I am now proudly a member of.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And
fellow brother, Tower Club brother.
You know what I'm saying? I can't let go of those golf,
Hey.
They got some good events. I go over there, and he introduced me to another guy, which we now have a $13,000 project on the table in discussion with. This is just how it comes from him just networking.
Yep.
And now I want to do work for him. not just as like a appreciation, but I want him to build his brand and his profile, his portfolio. Just it's that important to him and it's that important to me. So just off of speaking with you, I'm now a member of that group. I met Stephen Godot. He's a fashion designer for like, is it Tracy Ellis or something? I don't know. One of those popular women. Like I meet so many cool people in the downtown SOBs. I met them the other night. KP Porter, I'm just meeting people. And so a lot of fruition stuff is coming to fruition from that.
And, you know, it's so important that people hear this because this is how you figure it the F out.
Yeah, you do.
One of it is networking. Gosh, I don't know how many times I've had guests on here and they talked about they met one person that introduced them to another person, and the next thing you know, it's like it just blows up, you know? And it's so important. One of my biggest things that I tell people is there shouldn't be a soul in this world that doesn't know what you do. If you're a business owner, there's not a soul in this world that should not know what you do.
I like that.
Even if you got to slide it in, it could be your waitress.
Yeah.
You know?
You just got to let her know, too.
Yeah, waiter or waitress, you know, come and bring your food. Hey, what do you do? You know, and they should know. Yeah. They should know what you do because you never know.
You never know
what that connection could be. And I think that actually was a phenomenal experience. And I'm really happy to hear that your growth coming from it.
No, thank you.
So what's the next steps? What's for the future of Mr. Fabrice?
Listen.
Let's go.
I'm a FITFO.
There you go.
I'm a FITFO. Listen, I got a lot of like gems I want to tell people. Like, there's a lot of concepts I want to leave on the table. I know I have over time, but like the 5 Fs, of course. I know you probably know about the 5 Fs.
Go for it.
So like fitness, family, faith, fun, and finances. Like I make sure those pillars are in check because if one crumbles, you can't have the rest. If you don't got your faith, you're not gonna have any of them. So there's that one. And additionally, just trying to figure out where I also belong in Dallas. I think I'm finding my groove pretty quickly. I'm pretty lucky that I met you that fast. And kind of, you know, the rest of the people I met in accordance. And so fitness would be my biggest one, but my main course will be Fabrice Visuals. Growing that out, getting more reputable clients, customers, and becoming the big private marketing company I need to be. So that's what's next for me.
That's what the future holds.
Yeah.
I love it. So I like your 5 pillars, right? So if you can give any advice to the audience, anybody in your age group, in another age group, doesn't really matter, anybody in your industry that wants to get into it, what advice would you give to those people if you can look in the camera?
Absolutely. So this applies to, especially if you're younger, but it applies to any age you are in. So the first thing I want you to do, no matter where you are in life, is if you haven't already, get out of your comfort zone. Be able to speak in front of a couple hundred people. I used to do the high school announcements every day at my high school. So like I spoke to everybody all day. I had to be on pinpoint. So I got rid of that. The second one I want people to do is be able to become a better storyteller, a better influencer, a better persuasive speaker. Because once you are able to speak fluently and delay your message, you are now able to captivate and close more people. And lastly, don't stop figuring it the fuck out.
There we go.
Don't ever stop, baby.
Hammer time.
Don't
Bam.
ever stop, baby. So,
my man. So with that, we're going to go ahead and bring this to a close.
Of course.
Fabrice, thank you, my brother, for being here. And I am so looking forward to your future and your success.
Appreciate it.
You know, this is going to be, and I know we're going to do more together. So this is awesome. So for those of you out there, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Also comment. Okay, go ahead and watch this. It's every Friday live at noon, and that's noon Central Standard Time, by the way. But you can also see it on or hear it on Spotify. And but yeah, please do all those things. And also remember, lastly, when all else fails, figure it the F out, and we're out of here.
Yeah.